Welcome back.
Hey, everybody.
Episode 12.
Hey.
We're almost a teenager.
We're doing it.
Whoop, whoop.
Is this where we're getting past apprenticeship?
I think so.
We might be like coming a master of a trade.
Yeah, we've got like a blue belt or something right now.
Tell you what, though, I felt like it's taken 30 years to get to
taken like a second for
12.
for a long time.
How are you doing?
I'm
are
well.
you okay?
I am well. I've honestly thought, as I mentioned last episode, I thought once summer gets here, we'll be able to just rip these off, you know?
Absolutely didn't happen.
Nope. So anyway, but hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for, I guess listening. If you're watching, maybe just the one.
The logo. Thanks for staring at our logo.
Thanks for watching our logo for 45 minutes.
Yes. Shout out to Leandria. It's super cute.
Also, I found out that we have 9 subscribers on YouTube. So we're almost a double digits.
Oh, my goodness.
So if you haven't subscribed to us yet, be that person to get us over double digits.
Yes. Push that button.
Yeah, so we've got the masses following us.
Yeah. I'll say I did shameless plug us in my super summer group me chat.
Hey.
One of the guys in there was talking about having a podcast, and so I got the link to our page and was like, hey, this is my podcast I was talking about. And then when I sent episode 11, and this is when we were talking about super summer in Falls Creek.
Nice.
Shameless plug.
But
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do,
you gotta
man.
do what you gotta do, you know? We don't have any money, so we can't pay for advertising.
Nope.
So
Facebook keeps saying boost this post, and I'm like, with what, Facebook? With what? There's no budget here.
No
Are you
budget.
crazy?
Well, what are we talking about today, Randy?
VBS. VBS time.
YES.
Say yeah.
VBS.
On that note, last episode I said we were doing our VBS at the end of June at my church. We're doing it at the end of July. We moved it, which is actually crazy. We're like, guys, we have a crazy idea. What if we make our VBS like the final bash of like the summer?
Yeah.
So we're literally doing it the week before school starts, which is kind of fun, but also crazy.
Yeah.
Because it will be literally like the last thing. And usually it's kind of towards one of your first things to kind of like gather people in.
Right.
But I was like, you know what? I kind of like that. Let's like, and because we were talking like, let's just give them like one big more like boost for like Jesus right before we send them back into school. And I was like, honestly though, genius.
Nice.
Nice move. I vote yay.
Good job. So all those people that were making plans to travel
all the way to Fittstown, Oklahoma.
all the way to Fittstown, you got to wait another month.
Wait, like, yeah, literally. Another month. That's how far apart we moved it.
So if you grew up in church at all, you probably did some sort of VBS, or maybe if you didn't, maybe your parents just needed you to get out of the house for the summer.
You probably did some sort of VBS.
You probably did some sort of VBS. And, you know, last episode we talked about Falls Creek and Super Summer and other things like that. Mainly geared toward older kids, junior high, high school, college age. Whereas VBS is pretty much only younger kids.
Youngest, most churches won't do the 2-year-olds, but technically you can. The youngest class is 2 to 4-year-olds, like 3 and 4-year-olds. Yeah. And the oldest class is 5th and 6th grade.
Right.
So yeah, it really is littles.
It's a different like if you like are gonna say I'm gonna help volunteer with these two things. They're two opposite sides of the spectrum as far as
completely different
what you're gonna deal with.
And what's crazy is you tend to have the same people who volunteer for like all the things, especially at a small church.
Yeah.
And watching them take on the different stuff. So like at Fittstown, the people who do like the little kids, like the littlest kids, like the 3-year-olds, they're more of they're kind of, I'm not gonna say elderly, but they're older.
Yeah.
right? And they're like, oh no, this is great. This is life. I love these 3-year-olds. Meanwhile, you get like the more younger people teaching the older kids, and they're like, well, we made it.
Right.
And it's not because it's like, but it is. It's like and they like it. They like teaching there. And that's how it is at, even at Union Valley. Like my mom has taught, and I used to help her. We've taught the pre-K and kindergarten the whole time.
Yeah.
Like pretty much since I started helping, I've taught the 2- and 3-year-old class one time, because the lady who was supposed to be teaching had to leave for some kind of like family emergency. So me and my sister and another boy that was all helping in other classrooms, we all came and taught that class.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually life. It was awesome. But I was also like 14, 15 years old, maybe 16. And so it was like easy peasy for me. But I mean, it's wild how you go, like your brain. So you're like reading these stories, and the same story you would tell, say like the feeding of the 5,000. That same story you try to tell to a 5-year-old versus a 15-year-old versus like a 20-year-old or whatever.
Right.
It's so different.
Yeah.
Because they're going to catch different things.
Sure.
And it's crazy though that you kind of do have the same people, and they just keep adjusting.
Yeah.
Just keep minor adjustments. And I think that's one of the best things about like serving in a church and watching others serve is like watching those smile, like you might hear them tell the story and really press hard into like like the faith of the disciples or the faith of the people or whatever. And then some people might focus on how it was just like a little boy that had the lunch.
Right.
Whatever. And, and then there's other people who might focus really hard on like how Jesus had like immediately had to kind of go off by himself or like whatever.
Right.
And I just think it's crazy that that the Bible is so alive that way, that it can be like you can get different stuff for each age group. Right. But that it's also the same people can like self-edit and like adjust as they go. Right. It's wild.
Right, because like, if you have a math textbook, like a geometry textbook or whatever, like obviously it's going to be almost impossible for you to dumb that down to a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Other than like, here's a square, and then the 3-year-old's like, oh, that's a square or whatever. But if you're like, y equals mx plus b or whatever, some first graders, there's nothing you could do to explain that to a first grader. But with the Bible, like you said, moves. I mean, like it works for 3-year-olds. It works for 30-year-olds. It works for 90-year-olds. Yeah. And so I do think that's cool. Another thing that I really like about VBS is they typically always tell the same story.
Yes.
I mean, obviously the story of Jesus is the story is being told. But the fact that they can make, a space theme and a cowboy theme and
like a Hawaiian
theme and an ocean theme or whatever, and all of those they can like
desert and
they can make them fit into the story of Jesus is really cool to me.
Yeah, it really the older I get, the more impressed I am with how they have like it's like they have a hand on society. So when what we were talking about the year, so 2022 was Spark Studios, and that was super artsy.
Oh yeah,
super artsy, and like Twist and Turns was like game boards and stuff like that. And these type of those type of themes were very like everyone was kind of doing these things,
right? Like
that was kind of like what can you do for Jesus? Oh, you're an artist. Oh, you play video games. Oh, you played. You can like play board games and things. And you're like, in Falls Creek, I noticed tries to do this too, I think. But I've noticed the older I get, it really is like they're looking out and they're seeing like movies that are coming out. They're seeing, I think they're seeing like, maybe even like what's going on in the world a little bit, and they're trying to kind of bring that in because like I mean, and we were kind of joking around, they kind of cycle the same basic themes like our whole lives, yet it works,
right?
So like we have this list and we were reading it. Well, we didn't do, in 2005 we did not do Beach Blast. We actually did Road Trip. But in 2005 was Beach Blast. Where is it at? I just lost it. Sorry, everybody. 2008, Outrigger Island. And then let's see if there's one before. I don't think there is one before. Well, Submerged is under the sea.
Right, but then you have Journey Off the Map, and that was like jungle, water,
Journey Off the Map.
Like that.
Yeah, and then you have, in the year 2007, which we didn't do that one. We did Game Day Central, but in 2007 was Jungle Jaunt.
Right.
Amazon Outfitters was 2002.
Which it makes sense.
And then 2024 is Beach again, Breaker Rock Beach.
Right.
So they kind of like ocean or beach. They like, and it was funny because we were like, how many times have we done ocean? But
right.
I mean, it's kind of like winter, spring, summer, fall. Like
right. There's only so many things.
Only so many things. And the fact that they can come up with that many different types of an ocean island-y feel.
Yeah.
Jungle-like feel.
Right.
Bring it all about back to Jesus.
Right.
For 3 to 13-year-olds.
Right. Because they do a really good job of, because I feel like this is a big thing that I think our culture misses, is we try to fit Jesus into what is popular in the culture, whereas we need to just, like what Bible school does and what Falls Creek attempts to do is like they make sure that whatever their theme is, that fits into Jesus mold instead of trying to grab Jesus and say, okay, well, we're going to put you in, Fantastic Four or, whatever the theme, whatever the popular thing is of the time or whatever. Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but I think there's one right way and one wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
As far as like, hey, we're going to make this Vacation Bible School theme about cowboys or whatever. And instead of being like, oh, well, if we had Jesus be this, or this, or whatever, it would really make it. But then it was like, oh, actually, we should just keep the gospel how it is and just
change the
country or cowboy stuff around that.
Yeah, and I think that's why it works so well, too, because like you said, they have basically the same stories.
Yeah.
So there has been a couple of times, I'll just say disclaimer, my bad. But like me and my mom know they're going to be the same stories. And so there's been a couple of times where we didn't look at the stories till like the week before because they've been the same ones.
Right.
And so one year in particular was so funny. We usually try to do a look over the stories, and then since we do have pre-K kindergarten, we always have like 1 or 2 in-class crafts that we do. Just so to reinforce the story,
right,
and to kill some time because we don't take like 45 minutes to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
And one year we had just kind of gotten behind or what, I don't know, but we checked the story after we had bought supplies, and they had switched a story on us, and we were like in panic mode. I think the story they had switched was from like, say something, I'm making this up, but say it was like from feeding the 5,000 to like Peter denying Christ 3 times.
Yeah.
Like completely different vibe of a story. And we were like in panic mode. Mom's like, I thought I checked this. I guess I saw his name and just didn't think about it. And she's freaking out. And so I was like, bro, they don't care. It's not like they go home and be like, well, I talked about this.
Right. Last year we always talked about the 5,000.
Like, no one
we
knows.
We had to talk about different Bible stuff. Yeah.
No one cares. And so what we did was we just changed it to the craft we had.
Mm-hmm.
And we went around and told all the people, I don't know what crafts you're doing on this. I don't know what snacks you're doing on this. I don't know what the song is on this. But don't ask questions about this theme because we bought all the stuff. We've written out the story and we've memorized it already.
Yeah.
My bad. Because it was literally like the day before VBS. There was no changing it. So we learned our lesson. We triple check our stories. But it was so funny because that's why.
Yeah.
We just assumed it was going to be this whatever, like Peter walking on the water or whatever. And it was so funny. And I'll never forget it because my mom's face was sheer panic. And my heart stopped for a second because I was like, we buy enough to have 20. We averaged 20 kids in that class.
Yeah.
There's been years we've had 37.
Yeah.
4 and 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds in a class. And so we try to prep as much as you can. And because our class, I think our class has ever gone down to like 10 once, twice.
Yeah.
Like it's a pretty solid age group. And yeah, it was so funny. So we started to make sure we read it. But that's one thing I really appreciate about it too, is they try to do bring in different stuff like from the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Yeah.
And they try to really show, especially in these newer ones, I feel like in the last like 5 to 10 years, they've really pushed, they've kind of circled back to pushing like the whole Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they probably did do that like in Truth Trackers and some of the other ones where it was like little more like, because I think Truth Trackers it was the one that they did, and like in Destination Dig, like those were specifically like artifacts and like what is that? And, archaeology.
Yeah.
And so I feel like those were a little more like they dug a little deeper into the Old Testament for sure. But they don't always do that.
Right.
But I have appreciated that they're trying to like show it's like one big story.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I really think the thing with VBS that I just beg people to do, like, so like even this year for Fitztown, we're doing You've Got a Friend in Me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's famous friendships of the Bible. And we're making up our own curriculum. My husband's going to help me kind of collect my thoughts and make it so I can share it.
Right.
So they can share it. But, so like I'm doing Ruth and Naomi, and this other guy's doing David and Jonathan. I think this other lady's doing like Paul and Silas. And, I don't know all of them, but it's like 3 or 4 people like that.
Right.
Cause we only do Sunday to Wednesday. And, but we're using we're going to use like Saddle Ridge Ranch, songs, the Saddle Ridge Ranch. I think I said rich. Saddle Ridge Ranch. Nope. That sounds like a good food though.
Yeah. Say it 5 times fast.
No, I obviously can't. I can't even say it 1 time fast. But it's going to be like Western theme like that. And I'm like, even still though, bro, David and Jonathan, Ruth and Naomi, that's 2 out of the 3 so far are Old Testament.
Right.
And they point each other to the Lord both times. And both people have something to do with Jesus coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's what I've been thinking about the last few years is growing up, I still don't have the Old Testament books of the Bible memorized. Because I feel like growing up, there was such an emphasis on the New Testament to younger kids in that way.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it was on purpose. I think it's just subconscious.
Yeah.
Like once you get past like, I mean, you do tell David and Goliath. You do tell, Noah's Ark.
Right.
Like you tell those stories, but that's like it.
Well, there's so much, because like, I'm just laughing thinking about David and Jonathan or whatever, because the way the Bible talks about it is like, they were closer than brother or whatever. Like the way they word that. Every time I read that, I'm like, ew, well, don't put that in there.
Yes, people, the way they say that. And you're like, please stop.
Like, so like, I get it why, like, but there's so much stuff in the Old Testament that like, I honestly probably don't ever remember hearing about until I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, part of that is just because sometimes when you're in just like a regular church service, the pastor or the youth leader or whoever can only go so deep.
Yeah.
Because you have some people in the class who have been Christian for a long time and have been studying the Bible for a long time, and they know a whole lot. Well, then you have the newbies that show up that all they've ever heard is Noah's Ark and David and Goliath and so like there's only so deep you can get.
Yeah.
So obviously if it was like, hey, turn your Bibles to 1 Samuel. We're going to talk about how close Jonathan and David really were. Wink, wink. Like if that was your pastor, you'd be like, I'm never coming back to this church ever again.
Yeah, you would believe something was severely wrong.
Or if you said, hey, let's go to Numbers and let's talk about this talking donkey or whatever. Like stuff like that you'd be like, that's in the Bible? Like stuff like that. But yeah, I do think it's cool that they do that, and they've probably done it for forever. But I have noticed, like you said, maybe more of a push.
Yeah.
At least in the last maybe 5-6 years of like, because obviously the Old Testament points to Jesus.
Yeah, like
in and of
Christ
itself.
was the plan all along.
Right, it was the plan all along.
Yeah.
And so like obviously you read the Old Testament, and we did a study a while back in our youth group, and it was called "It's Almost Like Someone Planned It," and we just went through Bible stories in the Old Testament that was like, oh, there's a plan for this, there's a purpose for this, it's pointing to Jesus.
Yeah.
And because, I feel like there are some churches that maybe if they don't even do it on purpose, they almost kind of do away with the Old Testament and say, well, we don't need that anymore. All we need is the New Testament, which obviously, as far as like rules and things like that, we go by the New Testament or whatever. Right. But I do think it's important to still read the Old Testament, study the Old Testament, and watch how Jesus comes and how he shows up. And I do like how they have a push for that. And it's like I said, it's probably been forever. We just probably haven't noticed it really. But I do think it's cool because you get there on Monday night, and it's what if it's story of David or whatever, and it's like talking about, hey, there's eventually going to be a king that's going to come, and then Tuesday and then Wednesday you get to the ABCs or whatever, and then it says, oh, well, then Jesus came and he was the fulfillment of that guy we talked about on Monday night or whatever. And so I think it's cool if kids, especially if there's kids that if they didn't grow up in church, or they are just the Easter, Christmas kind of
Mother's Day kind of people. Yeah.
Like for them to see that it's more than just like an old book and a less old book. Yeah. Like it actually serves a purpose. Story in there. If you can get, because I think, people get hung up on, oh, it's just a bunch of rules. Oh, it's a bunch of old stuff that we don't do anymore. Oh, it's like, I don't understand why, like, how much is a shekel? I don't know what a shekel is, or
a denarii.
Or a denarii, right? And so you read that and you're like, I have no, like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, and then when they explain it, like, it's like a year's worth of wages. Yeah. I'm like, to who?
Yeah, right.
Like the waitress that makes like $5 an hour?
Right, or a wage.
Or like, like electrician or someone who makes like 12 to 15. Or what's the
thing that's like the length of your arm or whatever, like they're always like,
the cubit.
Yeah, cubit. I'm like, because they always like, it's the length from your wrist to your elbow or whatever.
And,
I was like, okay, well, what if there's like a midget? Like, is that a cubit? Or like Goliath? Did he have?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I get like that too, and your brain just kind of clogs up.
Right, because in the Bible it just says it like, oh, it's just the length of whatever.
Because then,
it's a year's wages. You're like,
the Jewish people totally were like, oh yeah, sure.
Right. So it's like a year's wages for who? Anyway.
But I think, and that's one thing, so VBS, one of the reasons why I will die on the hill of VBS is the music is so reinforceful.
So good.
So reinforceful. Like, we were doing, I don't even remember where I was, but they were quoting a Bible verse. And it was from Spark Studios, We Are His Workmanship, created in Christ Jesus. Yeah. And it was, I think it was for Junior Falls Creek. It wasn't the main verse, but it was like the verses we went through around the main verse. Yeah. And in my head, I started going, because we are His workmanship.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
I think this Destination Day, when you seek me, you will find me.
Yeah.
When you search for me with all your heart,
right.
Destination Day.
Right.
No. And like, that's what you do all day.
All day long.
All day. You hear the verse, you start singing it, and then you're doing these weird movements because you don't remember all the movements. So you're like half doing the movements, but it's in there.
Yeah.
And it will always be in there.
Right.
It will never leave. And you can sometimes guess where it comes from.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really, 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 really bad at memorizing the name and the numbers and all of that of where it is. So, like, you told me, search me and, search me, O Lord, and, like, test my, or whatever that one is.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's in Psalms or whatever. Like, if that was, like, if you said the verse to me, I would be like, and especially if it's like been a VBS song, I'll probably sing it back to you. Mm-hmm. Then I would also be like, they'd be like, where's that found? And I'd go, I don't know, but it was on Submerge.
Submerge. Agency D3.
Agency D3, what up? And so I'm really bad at the numbers, but I can't lose it.
Right.
I'll never lose it. Like, if you say like 2 words, I start singing it.
Yeah.
And it might be like off a little, but like I know it. And then sometimes I can guess.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I remember it like what it like said on the shirt. Because I am a little, I have like a little bit of like a photographic memory in the way that if I can really like just like focus and like calm down and think, I can kind of see where I've seen something.
Right.
So like I can be like, okay, like Destination Dig. Okay, those were blue shirts. The front of it looked like, kind of like Greek ruins or Roman ruins, and then it was like, okay, the thing is on. The Bible verse was on the back. Okay, I think that was like Colossians or something. Like I can kind of but it takes me so long it wouldn't be helpful like in normal everyday life. But that's one thing I feel like VBS does the best at. Every single year has the ABC song. And what is and they're always like really catchy. So like I don't even remember what year it was, but it was like, "Hey, admit to God you are a sinner and repent." And it was like sounded like a rap.
Yeah, I think it was Agency D3.
Yeah, and I loved it, bro.
It's so good.
It was so catchy, and I sing it all the time. But then there's also like the one that was Galactic Starveyors, I believe, the God is over the
yeah.
And these song, and you're like, and it's just like so he just wants you to be his kid and he loves you kind of songs.
Right.
And I think every single year has these and they say, but in the ABC songs, they say, A, admit to God you are a sinner and repent. B, believe that Jesus is God's son. C, confess your faith in Jesus Christ as your Savior and Lord. Every time. They change a little bit of the tune.
Yeah.
They might add a word or take away a word. But they say that, and a kid sings that for an hour.
Yeah.
And so they know, they just were told the gospel, like most basic version of the gospel and where salvation comes from.
Right.
And they'll sing it. They'll sing it for the rest of their lives if they hear it.
Well, music has, and we've talked about this a couple episodes when we talked about music.
Yeah.
The fact that music has such an impact on just our brains. I mean, just like, even if you look at it from not a Christian point of view, just go look at any kind of study on like the effect music has on your brain or on just the way that your outlook, your emotions and things like that. And so like you said, like these kids are hearing the theme song for whatever, Destination Dig or Outrigger Island or whatever, Spark Studios.
Yeah.
And it's got literally verses in it.
Yeah.
And then you get to the ABC song and it's literally the plan of salvation in this song.
In a song. Yeah.
And so it's like, for some kids, like going back to the ones that don't go to church kind of thing, for those kids is like, if you can get that stuck in their head, which, I mean, you go to VBS and you sing the songs 27 times.
So much, and especially the way we do it.
Right. And then for us, like when I was real little, my mom would always go help Charla decorate like the whole entire week before.
Yes.
And so mom would help her decorate decorate the songs. And so for the entire week before Bible school, they're stuck in my head. And then for another week of Bible school, we're singing these songs, doing the moves or whatever.
Yeah. I literally just took In the Wild out of my car. I had In the Wild, like the songs. I had that in my car for over a year. Over a year. I just I got a new car in last year at spring break.
Yeah.
In the Wild. That was where are we? We're 2025 now.
Yeah. So
2024, I had In the Wild, which we were saying was from 2019.
Mm-hmm.
From 2019.
Right, 6 years ago.
2024, I was listening to In the Wild songs.
Right.
In my car.
Right. Well, even now is like what you mentioned earlier was like, we'll be at Falls Creek or we'll be at church or we'll be somewhere and someone will say, and we are God's workmanship, and like
we start singing
even
it.
Not even just me, like people around me will be like, whatever.
And you're right, though, it sticks in them.
It sticks in everybody.
It sticks in them.
And that's why I agree with you about why I think Bible school is so good, is because, like, does it take a lot of work? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it like, are you incredibly tired afterwards?
It's so much.
Yes. Like, are you eating healthy things at Bible
not.
School? No.
Absolutely not. But thank you for Miss Frida for your
Frida
cookies.
Pogue. please keep making
all the
your
ladies at
cookies.
Union Valley who make helper food.
Yeah, it's so great.
You're the real MVPs.
You are the goats of Bible school.
But we aren't. We're not eating good other than that.
We're not eating good. But yeah, so it's like all this like stuff, but like, you know, just like anything that's worth doing is probably going to have some sort of, oh, this makes me really tired.
Yeah.
Or, oh, this is kind of difficult. Or, you know, I had to decorate my room for a whole week. Or I had to paint a horse for my mom's classroom
that
or whatever.
Was still I still brag about
Rip
that, y'all.
Randy's wrist for painting
2010, Saddle Ridge Ranch. Overhead projectors, everybody. You see, kids.
There
back
used to
in
be
the
these
day,
things where you put the paper on the
transparent plastic-like paper projects on the wall. You can move the thing up and down, and it becomes smaller and bigger. Manually moving this.
It was great.
I actually really love those. I would bring those back.
They should bring those back.
But so I had to trace the outline of a horse and then paint it and color it to look like a horse. That was 2010, and I tell people about it to this day. We literally just talked about it before we got on air.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do, bro.
Yeah.
We spend a week painting horses
You spend
that
a week.
5-year-old's gonna color on or tear down.
You know, I don't know how many times I've counted the money at Bible school and gotten like I've got at the end of the week from touching these kids' nasty money.
You get sick.
I get sick after the week of Bible school.
Like every year.
Almost every year because I'm counting the money and I don't use hand sanitizer after I count the money. And so anyway.
Which is on us.
Which is on us. I mean, I guess it's my fault. But
I'm just going to throw a Bible verse out here just for the sake of just trying to drive this on home. For 2014, which was Agency D3, and it was like really like super spy kind of like police kind of vibes.
Discover, decide, defend.
It was the Agency D3, and it was like real like wah 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 kind of stuff. Great stuff. Oh, Google it. I'm telling you. You're already on YouTube if you're listening to this.
That's true.
YouTube Agency
after this video is over.
D3, after this video, pretty much any VBS song, you're gonna love it.
You're gonna like it.
But that is 1 Peter 3:15. But in your hearts, honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you. Yet do it with gentleness and respect. So the whole thing was to be able. Like you're discovering who Jesus is, you're deciding to follow him, and then you're defending him, was Agency D3.
Yeah.
And so for a whole solid week, me and my mom, we tried to do really, really big decorations. So it takes less. I mean, it's a little harder, but it's also less.
Right.
Because that way we can just because we have 4 and 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. We're not about life-sized things as much as we possibly can try not to. And it's just easier because it's usually me and her doing it by ourselves. So anyway, that year we made this code breaker thing to be the memory verse. So I had cut out probably a smaller, more kid-friendly version of that verse and taped it up on the wall. And then we made a big magnifying glass that went over another wall that had Bible verses and stuff in it and things like that. And I'm just saying, these kids, we do that. We work the whole week before and we're cutting out pieces of paper. We're Alice is helping this year a little more than I am. I still hot glued some paper plates together to make flowers. So if you go to Union Valley, Miss Susie's class, you're welcome. No, I'm just kidding. But they're really cute, actually. They turned out cute. But, that's what we do. We spend the whole week, and we're reading, and we're reading, we're reading. But that whole thing is, that's just one. Since 1998 is where this list starts, to 2025, of one verse of how they're trying to instill in you, the Lord is your hope. The Lord is your salvation. Yeah. What do you do with that? And so they have all these things. So it has, it says, Outrigger Island, living God's unshakable truth. They have a sub theme in everywhere. every single one of these since I was a kid. Like Truth Trackers is the first one I ever remember. That's 2001. That was sorry, y'all. Alliteration kills me. Truth Trackers.
Randy's biggest op is alliteration.
Alliteration. I even went to school for theater, y'all, and I still can't hardly do it. Truth Trackers and The Secret of the Stone Tablets. I wonder what was on those stone tablets. Like, you know, it says John 14:6, which is, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I'm just saying. Like, and that's what it is, right?
So
like,
good.
they do, and that's the
So
whole
good.
point. And I think these VBS songs, we were talking about doing like we did with our silly songs, is having like kind of like a fantasy draft and picking our favorite ones. Honestly, I don't know if I could choose.
It'd be so hard.
Which is so hard. But usually, what makes or breaks a VBS is the theme song.
Right.
Most of the time, a kid will like be 100% in if they like the theme song. And can I just say, if we were choosing, I would have fought you for Submerged.
You like the Submerged theme song?
Submerged?
I don't like that part. But I do like the
it.
bubbling up.
Bubbling up.
That one's a good one. Bubbling up's
I
a
would
good
have
one.
fought you
Alice
on
likes
any
that
of
one
the
too.
Submerged songs. Alice probably walked into peeking. She, hold on. What's the song you sing all the time, Alice? We're going to let Alice come tell you her favorite VBS song. Okay. Pick your microphone. Shout out your favorite VBS song. She can't hardly choose.
Christmas song in summer.
Christmas song in summer. That's not a theme song, but yeah.
Oh, you want a theme song?
Yeah.
It's probably Colossal Coaster World or Journey Off the Map.
Yeah, those are
Maybe
great.
Submerged.
See, she can't choose.
It's hard.
It's hard. Thanks, Alice. You're the best. Yeah, we didn't actually do Concrete and Cranes that year. That was 2020, and that was the year we did.
What happened in 20? Something must have happened in
So,
2020.
I mean, why would our VBS schedule just get completely knocked off the
weird.
rocker? So what's funny is we kind of panicked, and we were like, we don't know what to do. Are we doing VBS? Are we not doing VBS? Because of all that mess.
Well, because it started in March.
Yeah.
And nobody knew anything in March.
We didn't know what we were
Nobody
going to be
knew anything
doing.
in April. Nobody really knew anything in May.
So June and July
So then
comes
June
around.
and July, we're finally like, I
Falls
guess
Creek had got shut
Falls
down.
Creek got canceled, and a lot of the bigger stuff got canceled. Super Summer
got canceled.
And
So we were all like, oh, I guess we canceling things
right.
now?
So it was like, do we cancel this? Do we keep it going? And so we were like, because then, also people aren't, like the mail just decided like, we're just going to suck more than we already do.
Oh, yeah, it got slow, bro.
And so
it got slow.
it was like, okay, well, even if we order all this material for
We won't
Bible
have it.
school, is it going to even get here in time?
Yeah, it was bad.
And then you didn't have people like at Lifeway working because you couldn't work because
Yeah.
they had to work from home.
Yeah.
And so it's like
It was
It was going to be
crazy.
nuts. And so we were like, well, we've got all these extra stuff we've used in the past. We'll just
Let's
do
do
a
our own.
mashup of
Yeah.
every single theme, which that was honestly pretty cool.
I honestly really loved it. And so our room was VeggieTales,
Yeah.
which was VeggieTales Under Construction was one of the very first VBSs I ever remember.
Yeah.
And so I decorated so me and Alice and my mom, we decorated our whole room VBS characters as Bible characters and put up Temple on the Mount or something and things like these kind of things that went with the stories we were going to tell. And it was awesome because a lot of rooms were different. Most of the rooms, I say, had a very different theme. And even if they were kind of close, they took different approaches at it.
Yeah.
And we chose our favorite songs from all the other ones.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, hands down, one of my favorite
We should
VBSs
do
of
that
all
more
time.
often, honestly.
Because I think the pressure of, oh crap, we're doing this. We all were just we were like, what's our jobs?
Yeah.
We're doing this. And we were there was no way to be lazy about it. It was so awesome.
So when we did that was when Walmart shut down where they weren't open overnight.
yes.
And then it also was the time where if you wanted to buy Lysol, you could only buy like 2 cans at a time.
Yeah, so Lysol and hand sanitizer.
Right, Germ-X, which was everything that we normally buy to have around at Bible school. And so,
it was so funny.
They were like, hey, we need to make sure that each classroom has a thing of hand sanitizer and a thing of Lysol. And so literally I would go, I literally had, this is no lie, what I had to do the entire week before Bible school and then the week of Bible school was I would get to Walmart and there'd be a line of people at right before 7 o'clock. I would go stand in this line. And then at 7 o'clock, they would come open the door. You put your mask on, and then you would go in. And almost everybody went directly to the Lysol Germ-X aisle. And so, but there was a limit on how much they let you buy. And so you could only get 2. And so I had 3 in my hand, and I hid one in like the sporting goods section or whatever. And so I checked out and I went to my car, and then later that day I came back and got the thing of Lysol and took it. I was sneaky.
But it was for the Lord, Matthew.
It was for the Lord. It was to help kids not die of COVID at Bible school. So God said it was okay.
Yeah, I say you're forgiven. Did you repent to God that you were a sinner?
Well, maybe. Maybe I'm repenting now. I'm confessing my sin to you.
I'm just going to read some of these because the people need to know if they haven't. So the very first one I ever remember was Truth Trackers. The Secret of the Stone Tablets. That verse, like I said, was John 14:6. Amazon Outfitters. On Expedition with the One True God. That's the one I could sing most of the song. Mm-hmm. Mostly the Amazon Outfitters. And it was like I think it was like On Expedition was in there, but I probably could never sing that. With the one true God, we will not be quitters. We're on a mission and we will not stop. Nice. That was 2002, everybody. I did it. But that was Deuteronomy 10:17. So that verse is from the Old Testament, right? And they would do that too. I'm noticing this is why I'm doing this. I went back and I saw they're actually swapping back and forth with Old Testament for the main theme.
Right, because you get back up to 2011 where you have Big Apple Adventure. That was a good one.
That was great. That's Romans 10:17.
But that's Romans. And then the next one is Amazing Wonders Aviation, and that's Psalm.
Yeah.
And then the next one's 2 Timothy.
So they flip back and forth, not only with...
the next one is 1 Peter. Then the next one's Isaiah.
Yeah.
That's Journey Off the Map. And so they did a really good job. And so like I said, like Randy said, we'll probably next episode do we'll do
a fantasy draft.
Because of our favorite themes or whatever. And we'll go through all of them. But real quick before we leave, I think one of my favorite songs, and I don't even know which one it's from, but it's the like Sin Messed Everything Up one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
It's from Galactic Starveyors.
Oh, it's from Galactic Starveyors.
We were actually saying they had the best music that year.
They did have the best music because it was like saying how it was supposed to be originally. Okay, sing it.
Okay. This ain't how it was supposed to be originally in the Garden of Eden, but God really loved you and me, and He wants you and me to live with Him for eternity. So the one and only Father sent His one and only Son is the one and only way to save each and every one. He given us a chance with a brand new start. He's a great big God with a great big heart.
Yes.
Good job, Alice.
Sin messed everything
that was such a good one.
And then it went, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, best.
So.
And then the bridge though. God will make it all right. Make it all right.
Oh yeah.
So Sid messed everything up, and you went, oh no, and then God will make it all right. Oh yeah. Tell you what, man. But watching it, Charla trying to teach kids to do the moves, because how fast she was singing it, that's how fast the moves were going.
Right.
So my Aunt Charla has done music for a really, really long time. Taught the music. She gets up there, she does all the moves. And so she's learning the moves like the week before too, while she's decorating, and we're all decorating. And I could tell you that year was hilarious because even the helpers were looking at each other. She was looking at us. And I think it might have been that song, but there was one time I came in late and I just happened to see her doing it, but I didn't really know. And I was just kind of like marking it.
Yeah.
And the next day she goes, doesn't it go like, it was like left arm, right arm stomp or whatever the move was. And I was like, no, I thought it went like stomp, right arm, left arm or like whatever. Like the backward, like it was backwards. And they all looked at each other and she starts like marking. And she was like, how did you remember that? I was like, I don't know, man. I think I was in the bathroom, but that's how it goes because your body just like soaks it.
Yeah.
Soaks it in. But I mean, that was Galactic Starveyors. That was 2017, and she just wrapped that for y'all, everybody.
Hey, good job, Alice.
So it's like, that's what we're saying. It
Alice
stays in you, man.
is the MVP of Bible school.
She really is. She's going to do Christmas song in summer. Oh.
Bring it to the wall, guys. Okay. All year long, you don't have to stop. Even in the summer when it's getting hot, you don't need to wait around for the temp to drop. Just go ahead and jam to the Jingle Bell Rock. For unto us a child is born, a son is given, Christ the Lord. Jesus is the King of Kings. Anytime's good time. Let's sing.
Yeah, she'd do this all day, but it's like, I'm excited. I'm proud of her. Here's the thing, though. We don't know what kids are like that.
Right.
We don't know what kids are. You put it in a song, you put it like in a play, they will never, ever, never forget it.
Right.
And I know I don't. And I mean, I know you have, Matthew. There's a lot of stuff we talk about. You're like, oh, remember that one thing?
Right.
And I say, and this is why I was like we've been saying this whole time, VBS is a hill we'll die on, because she's in seventh going into 8th grade, and now she doesn't get to be in class.
Yeah.
But she's that excitement is helping little kids now.
Oh yeah.
And that's what it is like all the ones I remember from when I was a helper. I don't even remember when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But that could be we just didn't do that many because we didn't have very many kids. So we might have just been going to like other churches or whatever. But if you break it down and you really think about it, it's like if you get them now when they're 3 to 4 years old, 3 to 13-ish, that's kind of the age.
Right.
That's like raise,
Right. Train up a child.
Train up a child.
Go. Right.
And it's like VBS.
Good
Applaud
job.
you.
Good job. Good job.
I did pick out some Bible verses about singing and dancing just for fun. We can read a couple of them today, and then we can read a couple of them next week if we want. But so throw a couple more Bible verses in there just in case.
Yeah.
Because I would say what we've learned is sometimes it looks silly. You walk into a building, it's got giant butterflies. It's got a giant, flowers. Right now, this year's Magnify. The main VBS for Laughway is Magnify. And so everybody's like giant flowers, giant bugs, giant grass. Right, this kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You're going to walk in there and you're going to be like, what has happened to the Lord's house? And why are you putting thumbtacks in our walls?
Right.
Why are you stapling paper to the wall? Why are you taping the walls? Why? Oh my gosh. Bleh. You can get like that. There are times you walk in, you're like, oh, this is a huge mess. This is going to stink cleaning up. But no, deep down, when you support VBS, maybe you can only come one night. Maybe you can bring one box of cookies. Maybe you can't even bake that well. So you literally just show up with like chips, like bags of chips.
Right. Or go to Walmart.
Or go to
pre-made
Walmart.
cookies.
Yeah. Go to Walmart, raid the snack aisle. Show up for one night. Look at these kids' faces when they're doing the music. Watch them as they're doing the crafts. The crafts are meant to reinforce the story. The music's meant to reinforce the story. Everything about it is teaching them that Jesus is the truth, the life, and the way.
Right.
And it was the plan from the very beginning. Every year.
Yeah.
Think about that. And then as you're watching them kids jump around in church, and we're Baptist and you're not supposed to be dancing, let's think about this verse. So Psalms 149:3. Let them praise his name with dancing and make melody to him with tambourine and lyre. Psalm 66:1-2. Shout for joy to God, all the earth, and give to him glorious praise. Psalms 47:6. Sing praises to God, sing praises. Sing praises to our King, sing praises. And that's just like 3 verses of like the millions I could have found about being praising the Lord. Because that's what we're doing there.
Right.
We're teaching the kids it's okay to praise. And one thing we can mention next week whenever we're kind of going through some of the songs is every year there is the theme song that kind of has the verse usually in it. There is the Plan of Salvation song, and then there's always like a quote worship song that's slower.
Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of time
more
to get
beautiful.
into this, but the last like I don't know, I'll just say half decade of those songs
have been
if you
on
told
point,
me
y'all.
Bethel released this song,
I'd believe it.
I believe you.
I would 100% believe it.
They're like that quality of like, we're just gonna worship right now.
Yes.
Like, that's what they're about.
Yes, and we'll make sure we get a couple of those in. We'll mention, and maybe we can actually find some of the words for next week. But there's like, the basic gist of those songs are things like, it'll be kind of like, I'm just making this up, but it's like really, really slow and pretty. And it's like, whose name is above all names? Jesus. And like stuff like that.
Right.
Who would be worthy of our praise? Jesus, our Lord, or whatever. Like making up like that type of simple words.
Yeah.
But the arm movements are flowy and still, because you're trying to bring like peace to the situation.
Right.
And when I tell you, the last couple of years, seeing my kids singing worship songs and like raising their hand, I cry.
Yeah.
I full on cry.
That's what it's about.
Because that's what it's about. It's about teaching them to praise the Lord without any inhibition, and that Jesus was the plan.
Right.
And he was the plan for you.
Yeah.
And they're hearing this from like 2 to 3 year olds all the way up.
Yeah.
And there's kids that are helpers there. They don't, they're just there because their little brothers or sisters have to be there, or like whatever. Sometimes you catch the random kind of straggler, and they're hearing it too.
Yeah.
And I'll say, and Matthew, you've helped with the music, so you're even, and like the videos and stuff, so you kind of catch this too, even maybe more than I do. But these kids, it's almost like they don't even realize that they're worshiping and that they're learning about Jesus until the last night when we do family night and we let them show off their songs. And it's just, it's like, it really is bringing, it really is the joy of the Lord. What it says, shout in Psalm 66, 1 through 2 that I just read. Shout for joy to God, all the earth, and give to him glorious praise. It really is like,
that's what it's about.
The joy of the Lord comes in that week. And that's the only way we can get through VBS. Yeah, it's the only way we can get through Falls Creek. It's the only way we get through Super Summer. It's the joy of the Lord, the Holy Spirit just pushing us along, the helper comforting us with those awesome songs, of silly songs, but they teach you the Bible.
Yeah.
I think, could talk all day about VBS. I love VBS.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, shout out to all the churches who still do VBS. And even if you do like day camps, it counts.
Right.
Keep doing it.
Right.
You're teaching, even if you are just getting all those kids off the city block that the parents don't want to hang out with anymore.
Right.
You just got them for 3 hours, because I know ours go from 6 to like 9.
Yeah.
I think that's about what it goes, 6 to 6:30 to about 9 p.m. is what most do. You literally have 3 whole hours shoving as much about Jesus and God's love for them.
Yep.
So next week we'll do next week.
Sometimes next episode. Sometime between now and
episode 13.
Will eventually happen.
We'll do our VBS draft, because I think the people deserve it.
And maybe if we hit 10 subscribers, we'll make Alice come and do the draft with us.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody push that button. Like, subscribe. I think the comments are turned on now.
Yes.
So comment your favorite song. Just make that algorithm jump up. We're not doing this to, be world famous, but someone out there may not they may not really want to go to church. They may not understand what the Bible's all about. And, but maybe they know what VeggieTales is.
Maybe they do.
Maybe they know.
Maybe they went to Bible school when they were a kid.
What VBS is. And so you this is funny, and it sparks a conversation.
Yeah.
So anyway, till next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.